Yeah. Oh, hey, how's it going? This is my video vlog for May 29th, 2023, and it is 1:48 p.m. Monday. I tried to sleep in today. Like, I slept extra in past being tired because I was kind of trying. Didn't feel so good yesterday. Maybe I thought maybe it was lack of sleep. Yesterday, yeah, working all night long, and then kind of got up in the afternoon and called my mom to see if she wanted to do a bike ride or whatever. But yeah, she wanted to go down to the Boulder Creek Festival, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's really big, like 4 different big spots around the creek. Really beautiful setting up. I got a hamburger, double patty, smash burger hamburger for $12, and I couldn't even finish it. And then got a beer for $9. Just a can, like geez, but I got totally buzzed off of it. It was like 7.1%. And there were 2 places we saw where they were playing music, but there are 3 places, 3 stages there where they play it. But then I came back here and I was working. The reason that I didn't do a video yesterday is because I was too busy working and I didn't want to do the video. I didn't want to take the time to do the video. When I get super, I guess sometimes I get super, oh, there it is, it's done. Oh, no, it's not. Super pressured on whatever I'm doing, and that's what I was doing yesterday. I'm adding the side grid to all of my pages, and yeah, it was taking forever. There's lots of thinking and stuff, so day before yesterday, I decided to go ahead and start counting the chapters for my books, because I'm working on the books anyways, and so instead of just turning it into a side grid for the whole website, turn it into maybe working on the books so that you can stay busy. Because like right now, for example, Livy's thinking, but most of the books aren't big. Most of the books go by pretty quickly. It's just a few that take forever. So, you know, when I'm done with this video, I'm gonna go into Safeway and get an energy drink, just because that's what I do when I get up. And then I drink it and I smoke weed. They're only $1.30. What the hell, energy drink? What are they called? Can't remember. And then I'm gonna come back here and you know, if Livy's still spinning around, I'm going to do the thing where I'm counting chapters I did. So yeah, I opened up like the program, whatever it's called, Notes, and you can make different folders, and so each folder is a different book. And so I did Karl Marx Capital. And so what I'm going to do is, after I do that for all the books that I don't have it for yet, because I have it maybe for half of them, I'm going to cut out the chapters of all those books and put them all put them all together on one page, and then just do math, because I have to do the math to convert the page number into the time, 50 seconds per page. That's double speed on Mac. And then do the batch edit, because so many different, when they're all together, there's going to be so many chapters that are the same size, so you can just batch edit it and the conversions. So throw them all in together and make sure that they all get thrown in. But for now, I'm just counting. So I did Karl Marx, and then I did another book or two that I can't remember, and then I got to Cicero's speeches. Cicero gave like 600 speeches, 600 something speeches. And like, I can't remember how many court cases. Like 10 court cases, 600 speeches. So it was something like, I think it was 18 court cases, 600 speeches. So something like 10 to 20 or whatever, 50 to 100 or something speeches per court case. And I was looking at it, and I already had the court case counted. And I was looking at it going, should I make that, should I count each speech? Oh, look. Oh, no. Plenty keeps showing that it's done, and then I click the mouse, and it starts spinning around again. Plenty is 3,300 pages, and so I don't even know if it's possible what I'm trying to do. What I'm going to do is paste 10 legions on top of Plenty, and then just let it spin around for like 4 hours. Or maybe 24 hours. Who cares? Yeah, let it spin around for 24 hours or whatever, 12 hours. And if it doesn't do anything, I'll just piecemeal it in like that. Or maybe I'll try that with the other computer, because I'm not doing anything with the other computer. And just let the other computer spin around for 24 hours. That's what I'll do. I'll do it with the other one for 24 hours. And if it doesn't do it, I'll just have to piecemeal it. But anyway, so what I was talking about was yeah, I got to Plenty, and I'm like, do I want to count the speeches? And so the speeches are the reason you would not want to count the speeches is because there's no name attached to the speech. It's just numbered. And my rules are you would count something that has a name to it, right? So if someone has an argument and they title it, well, then count it, because it's like, you know how long their argument for this or that was. I think I'm going to do it if you're writing a letter to somebody. And it's like, you know, he wrote a bunch of letters to his brother, letter 25. I would have all of those counted. But then I was like, well, are you going to do the same thing with speeches? And I'm like, well, yeah, actually, you have to do it with speeches. Because even if it's 600 of them, I mean, don't let big numbers daunt you. If you have to do it, you have to do it. And the reason is because it helps you understand what it was like in that world if you know how long they were talking. Because then you would get a picture of how many people were talking at any given moment. And you know, even for movies or in your imagination, simulating the duration of speeches and how much people would say, and even legally how long they would let people talk, and compare it to now. In ancient Rome, I mean, in ancient Athens, they had democracy, so they allowed everybody to speak, and they allowed everybody to like take everybody to court and all that kind of stuff and give speeches, and so they were sophisticated, and they would have the agora where 5,000, 6,000 people would get together at the same time and speak, and anybody could speak, but only like maybe a handful, 6 or 12 of them would, because there would only be enough time for the leaders to speak, and so when you're in court, they had a rule where you could only speak, I think, a gallon of water with 1/8 drilled into it, which takes about 10 minutes. So they would give you about 10 minutes to speak in ancient Athens. In ancient Rome, and I assumed that all of the speeches that Cicero gave were as long as they allowed him to talk. So, and his speeches were all kind of around the same distance, same length, you know? And the thing that would make him ones bigger than the others were probably how fast he was talking. But yeah, they were typically around 2 pages. So 1.9, 2.2 pages. Yeah, 1.6 to 2.2 pages. And so, which is about 400, 500 words. If you're talking really fast, it'd take you only about, if you're talking double time, like how I talk like this, if you're talking like that, it'd probably take about a minute and a half, minute 40, 2 minutes to get through. But he was not speaking like that. He was speaking 3 to 4 times slower than that. So probably about 10 minutes. Probably about the same as ancient Greek Athens. They probably give you about 10 minutes. I was watching a movie yesterday, because I'm like watching movies, all kinds of movies. I saw a horror movie called Smile yesterday. Crazy. But they gave the cop gave the lady 10 minutes to talk to the witness. And so, yeah, 10 minutes, that's what I'm going to guess. But anyway, to know how long all of his speeches are, it brings you, in terms of pages and time, it brings it more to home. Plus, it's Cicero, and his speeches were the biggest of all of his books. And so, yes, it's insanely time consuming to do a word count on 600 different chapters and then convert them and then even have to type it into the menu on the top and then on the book on the bottom. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, it's worth it, even if it takes a whole day or whatever, because it's Cicero and it's Rome, and Cicero is the #1 Roman in terms of writing. And so if it's #1 ancient city, #1 writer, you might as well give him the presidential treatment and count all of his words to his speeches. I'm sure the real Cicero would appreciate that. And he did get a raw deal. Had his head and hands chopped off in the prime of his life by Mark Antony, who has no words of his, I think, that survives. So, you know, who would you rather be, Cicero or Mark Antony? I think that'll say a lot about your values. And then going forward, what kind of person would you want to spend your time doing? Writing or trying to be famous and rich and powerful? So, so I figured that was a good time to do that. Because if it's spinning around, like, look, I'm going to click on Livy. It's probably going to be spinning around. Oh, look. Yeah, see, Livy can't even load. Oh, look. Spun around for a second. Yeah, see, it's just spinning around. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and paste Livy. Watch this. I'm going to do it right now. Well, I don't even know if it's possible. Because it would have to be able to give me the cursor. Would have to blink. And this is such a big page. I don't even know if it would allow the cursor to blink. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to back out. This is stupid. Livy, what the hell am I thinking? It's probably going to take me about 10 minutes just to shut Livy. Just to close the page. I just hit close, and we'll see how long it takes. And then what I'm going to do is skip Livy and do the next book, and I'm going to do Livy on the other computer, because that other computer can spin around for a week, and I won't even care. And that computer managed to do freaking plenty, so... My old computer, which I can't really work anymore because the mouse doesn't connect to it. It's a 2015. Whenever I turn it on, it's like really loud and hot. So anyways, yeah, look, it can't even shut plenty down. So anyways, it's a good time to do all that word counting because the computers are spinning around, and there was some spinning around. Even if it's only like a few seconds of spinning, that gives me time to go in and try to count those freaking Cicero speeches. But see, another reason to study the Cicero speeches is because that really puts you into the world of Rome, and that's what you want to do, go into the world of Rome. And that, almost pretty much like nothing else, will do it, you know. And Cicero is the smartest of the Romans. Smartest and most Roman. He may not have been like smarter than Julius Caesar, but he was more Roman than Julius Caesar. So he was smarter than Julius Caesar, definitely. So anyway, and then I have to go into the other books and count the chapter words, and I don't know which one I did and which ones I didn't, because it was kind of one of those projects I tried to do and then I didn't make it all the way through, because it's really time consuming, because there's a lot of chapters, and it also takes a long time. Like if you go into wordcounter.io is the website that I use. If it's like a couple of pages, it only takes a couple seconds. But if it's the only one that I know that gives you the pages. Everybody else gives you words, and I'm like, I don't want to do math. What are the pages? Because the other ones are a little bit faster, but I guess it takes longer to count the pages. So if it's like 50 pages, it takes like a minute. It takes forever. And a lot of these chapters are really big, and so doing the word counting even is spinning around. So, you've got computers spinning around trying to open pages, the other computer is spinning around opening its page, and then the website is spinning around for like a minute trying to count words, And so it's kind of a good thing to do while you're, plus you're all doing the books, And so, and also another thing that I'll do in my books is a lot of them, I think most of them, I never got around to rainbowing the titles. So that's cool. I'm rainbowing it. I'm hitting two birds with one stone, busting it open, doing rainbow titles, and also adding the grid. Oh, and I was also adding the grid wrong, though, in the beginning. So I have to go back and rebuild the grid on a lot of the big pages, too, which is going to take a lot of time, because I looked and I counted the grid. But I didn't realize that it sizes differently on the website than it does on Dreamweaver. And so I would size it on Dreamweaver, and then it would be too small on the website. And I wish it'd be too big, because it's easier to cut it down. But so I'm like, oh shit, so I have to go in and build it back out again. And in order to do that, I have to paste in the exact one, and I don't know which ones they are. So I have to go into the original file and break it up and save them as individual files, all the different sections, so that I can paste them in, which is going to take forever. But I have to do it in order to fix these. And yeah. And so, but after I figure out how to do it, it's really easy. You just make a really big grid. You paste the book inside of it. You upload it, and then you look on the website and you see what number it is, what century it is. So if it's like 3,700, you go and you type in 38, right, to include the first one, the first century. So. And then it pops in perfectly, and then you cut away the part on the bottom, and yeah, and you zoom through. And I was making good progress. I have a lot of books. I don't know how many, but yeah, I was happy making all that progress, and that side grid makes it look really good. I showed it to my mom yesterday, and she likes it. She usually doesn't like the new things that I do because she thinks it's a waste of time, but that side grid, she was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." It's like a frame, and so it looks way better. And so yeah. So anyways, my Livy can't even shut the frick down. This is crazy. I'm glad that I didn't try to paste that. All I tried to do is open it. Couldn't even open the damn page. So yeah. So I'm gonna go into the store and get my energy drink, and then come back. Hopefully the Livy won't be on. Then I can open the book after Livy and then get Livy started on that book. But if it's spinning around, you just count. I'm like halfway through. I counted like 300 speeches from Cicero. I hope there's not too many chapters to count, because that's super time consuming. But it levels up the page. You really want to know how big they are, because a lot of time. See, I don't want to get. I want it to be as easy as possible to read these books off my website or my cell phone. I don't want to be turned away because something frustrates me, and you want to be able to like piecemeal these books, So you want to be able to like read a chapter. Oh, look at me! Just look at that chapter. Look at that chapter. But if you're only gonna piecemeal read a book, you want to know how big the chapters are. Because what if you only have? Because you meter out how much time you have. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. I want to get something to eat, but let me do 5 more minutes of work. Well, you have to know that it's 5 more minutes, so you have to know how big it is, and so you want to go and see, okay, good, and then it, it helps you calibrate how big 5 minutes is and how big, how long it takes you to get through words and how long, how many words it is and all that by looking at it. And so the more it shows, the better off you are, and so you want to know the number there. So that's why it's worth it. So, man, this is crazy. Livy's not even shutting. So that's enough talking. Oh my God, I've been talking for 20 minutes. When I take a day off from doing a video, and then I do a video again, it's usually really long, like 20 minutes, because I'm talking like 2 days worth of stuff, of thoughts that I had to say to explain what's going on with my website and the thought process and everything. So, and what I've been doing. So, what day is it? It's Monday. I'm hoping that, yeah, definitely by Sunday, by the end of the month, I'll be done adding grids. Yeah, but then I guess the whole website, I guess, yeah, by the end of the month, end of the week, by Sunday. And I'm also almost at the end of the month. I should have a goal for the end of the month. By the end of the month, I'm hoping that I'll be done with all of the side grid for all of the books that I have, and then be just getting going on trying to do it for the rest of the site. So we'll see if I can do that. And I also have to count. So yeah, by the end of the week, I'm done with the counting and the side grid of the whole website, so that I can finally get back going on the fonts. I'm like super puzzled because I could have fucking sworn that I plugged in fonts on my timeline on one of the 500 year sections, fonts on all these different countries, because I had to do country fonts, and that was my page where I was going to decide what font is for all the countries, but I couldn't find it. So, oh yeah, so when I go back, what I'm going to do is fix all the links and fix all of those images for the numbers on my timeline, and then resize my education page, which doesn't have those images on it because it wouldn't upload for some reason, even though there's nothing wrong with the image. Yeah, fix that, and then look at the timeline, fix the timeline, make it all consistent, and then fix the links on the timeline. And then I can go and see if I can find that page, whatever it is. And if I can't, I'll look at the whole website, and if I can, I'll be like, fuck it, I'll just have to create individual fonts for every country all over again, and I'll do it on my UN page. It's the best place to do it. And I did it for the first 38 of them, I think, for the books that I have the LibriVox and Kindle books on, which is another section on my website which needs so much work. I need to count the book page size and the size of the pages and stuff. But that'll look really cool when it's done. So anyways, that's enough talking. I have my phone pointed towards the left, because for years I had it pointed towards the right, and then all of a sudden my fucking stupid ass phone starts doing my head to the side again, which it loves to do. So then I just pointed it towards the left, and then it worked. So now I'm pointing it towards the left again for the second time, and I'm assuming it's going to work. If it doesn't work, I'll have to point it towards the right, I guess. They're changing the rules every day, or every couple of years, so I'm pretty sure it'll work. But if I can't get it to work, I could also film it with the phone up and down, and see what that does. But I think that'll make it so that the video is smaller. So anyways, yeah, my phone, I don't know if my phone has that much life, because it said that it wasn't able to finish charging yesterday because it was overheating, and it can't charge when it's overheating. But it was just sitting on my bed, in the shade. So I don't know. It's an iPhone 10, but I guess it would be cool to have a faster phone just to test out my website, see if more, because my phone can download entire things on Google Earth now, like the Coliseum and stuff. And so these new phones, oh man, maybe it could do even more, as much as a computer. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Anyways, talk to you tomorrow.